Hey guys, it's Hannah and we're back with some more knitting. So we have our halfway point here. If you remember from the last video, this is where we left off. So now we're going to be adding another step. So the next step that we're going to be adding on is pretty simple. If you can follow along here, I just have the same yarn in our needles still. So if you come in a little bit closer, we're gonna start to decrease now that we're at our halfway point. So I'm gonna show you how to do that. I am just gonna move this up a little bit so it's easier to transfer over as I get to the end here too. So I'm just gonna start to show you. You only do this at the beginning when you start knitting. So here we go. We're gonna put it through like we normally do. We're gonna grab our long piece of yarn. There it is. So this needs to be in the back. So we need to grab our long piece of yarn. We're just gonna wrap it around the back. And we're just gonna bring it over. So that is one. I counted my one. So here is where it's gonna get a little bit tricky. So once you start to decrease, you're gonna be using a lot less yarn. So you're gonna end up taking two, this is a little bit tricky, two of the holes, not just the first, you're gonna take two of them now and you're gonna knit with two of them on your needle now. So you're just gonna knit normally, wrap it around like you normally would, and transfer it over. Like that. So now that we did two, this is our pattern that we're gonna wanna remember. So we knitted two, and now we're gonna take our yarn. You have to remember this step and put it in front. And we're gonna go ahead and take two stitches again. So see, I'm gonna push through here. I've got two of them on my needle after I've just put the yarn over like that, and I'm gonna wrap around. It is a little bit trickier, it's a little bit tighter to do, but you can do it. See, now we have our 4 stitches on this side. As soon as you count 1, 2, 3, 4, you know you're done your pattern and you can just start knitting normally all the way to the end, okay? So see how many stitches I have left here? You're gonna start knitting all the way to the end now. And you just adjust it as you go. So now we're on our last ones. We're still not changing anything. We're gonna knit all the way through. We're almost done. Just this row though. You still have a few more rows to go. All right, and last one. And there we go. So you can space it out, and you're not gonna see it decrease right away. You're gonna have to do a few rows before you eventually start to see it decrease in size. Okay, so I'm just gonna show you one more time so you guys have that down packed. So we are just gonna knit normally. We always have to remember our pattern. So we're gonna go through the first loop. We're gonna take our yarn, our long piece of yarn again, wrap it around, transfer it over like that. So now that I did my one, I'm gonna remember that I have to knit two now. Wrap it around just like that. And then transfer it over. I remembered that we just did our two, so now it is time to put our yarn over. Just like that. And we also have to remember that we knit two more stitches after that, and we're good to knit the rest of the way normally. So I put my yarn over and I have two stitches here. Wrap it around. And then transfer it over just like that. I'm gonna see how many stitches do I have. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that means I'm ready to knit the rest of the way normally. Okay, so we got to our to almost the end here. I went ahead and continued knitting all the way through, and we're at 6 stitches here. As you can see, we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you remember, when we first started, we started off with 4 stitches, and that's how we're gonna end it. So I just have 2 more to do until I'm ready to start finishing up the ends. So I'm gonna show you again. We still continue with our pattern. That still stays the same. So we're gonna knit 1. And then we knit our 2 together. Okay, so we have our 2 stitches here. So now we're gonna remember to put our yarn over like this, remember? And then we're gonna go back for 2 more stitches. Put it to the top like that. There we go. I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, so that means that I can knit all the way through, but we just have 1 stitch here anyways, so there we go. And if you count here, you're gonna see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're almost done. I'm gonna show you one more time here. So we just knit 1 normally. Pass that over, transfer it. And then we're gonna do our 2 here. So remember, we take our 2 now, it's time for that step. Some are tighter than others, as you can see. So we just wrap that around like normal, and we transfer it over. And then now it's time for our yarn over, so we put it around like that, and we go back for these 2 stitches. So we have our yarn over still like that, and we go back for more stitching. So we just put the 1 and the 2 in the back like that, and we wrap it around, and we transfer it over. So see how I ended up with 4 stitches? 1, 2, 3, 4, just like what we started with, and now we're ready to start closing our washcloth now. Okay, so this is how you're gonna close your washcloth. So you're gonna knit 1. That's my 1. And you're gonna knit normally for 2. You're not going to do anything fancy for this. But here's where we're going to start to close. So once you knit that second one, you're going to end up taking the tip of the left needle, something we haven't really done yet, and gone over here, and you're going to put it underneath the yarn here. Take this, and you're gonna wanna bring it over the second stitch you've done. This is gonna be a pretty difficult step, so I'm gonna do it really slow. So you kind of pull it over, but you don't want to lose that second stitch. See? And then you take this one out, you slide it out, and now it becomes one. And you're gonna go back on this side, and you're gonna knit one, and you're gonna do the same thing. So you have your 2 stitches on this side now, so that means it's time to bring this one up again. So I'm gonna bring it up, don't get rid of that second stitch, leave it on there. See what I've done there? There we go. Now we're on our last one. You just knit that normally, like you did all the other ones. Slide it off, and this needle is now free. So you're gonna take it, you're gonna go under again, make sure you get the whole piece of yarn, and you're dragging it to the top and pulling it out like that. So now we're just on 1 stitch left. So you're gonna take it and you're just gonna pull it slightly so you have a little bit of room here to end up sewing it back into the washcloth. So you just take that off now. You're done with your needles now. And you're gonna grab your scissors with this big loop that we've just created. We're gonna cut it, and you're taking your long string and you're just gonna pull it out. And we're left with this. So as you can see, this is our finished face cloth. Yes, it is a little bit longer, but you just basically, it's been on your needle this whole time. You've been playing with it, so you just stretch it into a space that you like, your square here. And you also can machine wash it too. That'll also help it get more of a square shape too. So this is our end product. Now I'm just gonna show you how to end up securing the closing of your washcloth. So here I have a yarn needle. It's not sharp at all. It's made for yarn. And you just hook it through. Here we go. And it doesn't have to be tied or anything. It's just to secure the end of your washcloth. So you're just gonna find any place that, any stitch, and you're just gonna bring it through like this. Just pull it. I found another stitch and I'm pulling it through. Another one like this. And once I feel it feels a little bit more secure, I can either, I can do one more and then I can turn around. We just find another stitch close by and we run it through again like that. One more. We'll just do one more, just so we know it's nice and secure in there. So that's that, and then we can just cut this off and it's pretty secure in there. Now you can wash it and there you go. That's our finished product. Now you know how to make a washcloth. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I miss you so much and I hope you guys are staying safe. Bye, guys.